so today we're going to work on our rising action, which deals with the problem in our story and the solution in our story. And remember, when a story starts out, we don't immediately tell our readers what the problem is. We want to build up to that, which is why it's called the rising action. So our rising action is on page 7 of our slides. Remember, on pages 2, 3, and 4, we did our brainstorming. And then on pages 5 and 6, we narrowed down more details about what we wanted in our story. And then today, the detail from the brainstorming that we had not completed was the conflict, the problem. And so that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to go back and look to see how we can make our conflict rise and then be solved. So on my brainstorming page about the conflict, I had said that I might have Long John Silver tie me up, or maybe my boat starts to sink, or maybe pirates corner me at the stockade. I think I want to go with the boat starts to sink. So I'm going to come down here to my rising action. And of course, my boat starting to sink is not going to be the first problem I come across. So I need to consider that where I want to put that in my story. So you'll notice that rising action 1 is the very first problem that your character faces. Again, problems don't have to be big. And then rising action 2 would be the next problem that they face. And then rising action 3 would be the final problem that they face. This would probably be where I would put that my boat begins to sink. And then the next part is the turning point. And the turning point is the most exciting part of your story. This is where your problem gets to be solved. And then the resolution is what happens at the end of the story after the problem is solved. So because I know that I want my boat sinking to be the final problem, because that's the one I came up with, I'm going to go ahead and put that there under rising action 3. So I'm going to put get in Ben Gunn's boat, but there's a hole and it starts to sink, because that's whose boat I was going to be using and what my problem is. So now that I have my main problem down, I have to have some problems that are leading up to that. So I think that one of the reasons that I'm going to be getting into the boat is because I found the treasure map. And after I found the treasure map, I want Long John Silver to chase after me. So that would be what I would do first. So to find the treasure map, have to have a problem. I think I'm going to have the wind blow the treasure map to me and Long John Silver sees me pick it up. So that'll be the first rising action. Find the treasure map blowing in the wind and Long John Silver sees me pick it up. So then, of course, I need something that connects the treasure map blowing in the wind and me picking it up to me being in Ben Gunn's boat and there being a hole. So to get to the boat, I'm going to have Long John Silver chase after me, which of course is my second rising action. Long John Silver's chasing after me. So notice each one of these is a problem. Long John Silver seeing me pick up the map, Long John Silver starting to chase after me. But then, of course, my biggest problem is that I get to Ben Gunn's boat and there's a hole in it and I start to sink. So now I have to scroll down and I'm to the turning point. And the turning point is where the problem gets solved. So how am I going to solve the fact that I'm in Ben Gunn's boat and it's sinking below me? Well, I think that I want Jim to be part of my story. And so here's where Jim is going to come in and he is going to throw me a rope from the ship. So I'm going to add that to my story. Jim throws me a rope from the ship. And now our last box is our resolution. This is the last part of the story where our problem is solved. And so Jim has thrown me a rope from the ship. And now Jim is going to pull me aboard the ship. So Jim pulls me up into the ship to safety. So notice I did not write lots and lots of sentences here in our brainstorming example for the rising action. I only wrote 1 or 2 sentences in each box, and that's because I plan to add all those details in when I finally go and write my story. But this is just so I know in my brain where my story is going to go as I go along. If once I get into my story and start writing it, these things don't pan out and I want to change my story, I'm the author, so I can change it. But at least this gives me an idea of where to go when I'm writing my story down.